2 fingers in there.
Late night, screens glow, coffee cold, minds woke, 2 mics, 1 code, yeah. Scrolling through the chaos, headlines loud, hearts numb, then I hear that drip talk. Cutting through the hum, gem with the side-eye, true stain with the data in his cup. They don't just gas up dreams, they show you how to level up. Oh, from the hustle to the headlines, from the culture to the grind. Every angle, every timeline, they lace and never waste your time. Welcome to the daily drip, let it run, let it run, let it hit. Oh, tech and politics, stacking common sense, turn it up, feel it in your chest, clicking, let your future flip like describe your own ascent, every gem, every take, every tip, and oh, yeah, they make it make sense, yeah. Thumb tied from the doom feed, faith in rent thick, algorithm playing mind games, selling you the same quick fix, then I catch that real talk about credit scores and crypto slips, union fights and AI rights, and why your boss be talking slick. Left lane, right lane, truth rise in the same frame. If it's cap, they call names. If it's facts, they fan flames. Oh yeah. Welcome to the daily drip. Let it run, let it run, let it run, let it hit. Tech and politics, stacking common sense. Turn it up, feel it in your chest, clicking. Let your future flip like describe your own ascent. Every gem, every take, every tip, and yeah, they make it make sense. Yeah. From your psychic to your 9 to 5, from the group chat to the bottom line, there's a late night guide through the glitch and grind. If you listen close, you gon' change your life. Change your life. Welcome to the daily drip. Let it run, let it run, let it run, let it hit. Hey, tech and politics, stacking common sense. Turn it up, feel it in your chest. Clicking, let your future flip like subscribe to your own ascent. Every gem, every take, every tip. Our daily drip, they make it make sense.
Welcome to our daily drift show. Look, y'all caught me. I was back there vibing. So welcome. I am your co-host, Jim Jones. This is our daily drift show. Along with me is my co-host, my brother, Plain Dame. Tell the people where you at, who you are, who you be.
Yes, your man Plain Dame here. Risk aversion specialist. Some of you may call it insurance. Also, just giving you that male perspective on politics and BS that goes on each and every week that we chime in around this time. And of course, I humbly assist my sister, Jim Jones. Humble.
Appreciate y'all stepping into our daily drip show with us, where we drip every Friday night with that late night drip, sprinkling politics, news, and everything you choose. So let us know in the community. Drops a drip in the comments, drops a drip on the community page. Let us know what you like. Hit that voting button. But before we get into any of the cool stuff, make sure you hit that like button, y'all. It's free. So hit that like button, subscribe button, tell 2 people you like it, someone you don't, you won't regret it. So in the background, before we continue to, we got Cassius Pay. So say hello to the people making things vibe, making things move. He said, "No, I ain't saying nothing to nobody."
Okay, check.
See, now, I know if I don't say nothing, then he got an attitude.
There we go.
Right.
I didn't know my mic was on.
It's
the easy listening. Easy dick.
No, we not.
I knew he was going there, trying to get us banned early in the game already.
Right. They like, get out of here.
That's the reason why I'm not on a show like that.
See,
My bad.
So thank y'all for dripping with us. Like I said, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure you do so. So tonight's episode is sponsored by stress, inflation, and group chats with conspiracy uncles. Always something when you got that drip, y'all. So first we gonna get into the American dream with 3 letters, APR. The White House out here promoting it's easier to access mortgage with credit. So there's been a lot of things that have been used, the powers that be. And one thing that people have struggled with, not even as of late, but for many, many years, is a mortgage. So the White House says, look, I got you. I'm going to make it easier for you to access a mortgage. But is it really easier? So first we're going to take a look at a video, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull up the actual White House memo so we can see what that looks like, y'all. So let's go ahead and take a look there. All right.
Executive order to ban housing investors before heading to Davos, where Trump had promised to announce more housing affordability initiatives. His speech this morning hinted at the opposite, though. Let's bring in Diana Olick. Diana, what did he say? I missed it.
Well, Kelly, President Trump's executive order is designed to ban large-scale investors like Invitation Homes, American Homes for Rent, Blackstone, and Pretium from purchasing more single-family homes. But he exempted investors in the build-to-rent market. And that's a big relief for builders like Lennar and Taylor Morrison, who sell to investors. American Homes for Rent is also a major build-to-rent player, actually a top 40 home builder. Analysts say the ban could definitely help in markets like in Nashville and Atlanta, where investors make up a very large share. But nationally, big institutionals only own 1% of the rental stock. The president also, though, said in his speech this morning that he did not want to bring down home prices.
Every time you make it more and more and
Now, before he gets into this part, if you're not aware of Lennar and some of the other people shout out in that was builders. And so one major city they didn't actually shout out in that was Dallas. Dallas is heavy. Y'all go on YouTube and just look up some of the names that were dropped in it. They will tell you all the massive builds that they have. They build these master plan communities. Some of y'all probably live in some of them, but they build master plan communities. So this is going to affect those builders in how they sell and if they are, able to rent. So let's go ahead and get any drip before I hit play from the squad.
No, we can go ahead.
Yeah, he hasn't
let's
even
go.
really gotten into it yet, so we can.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and let him go in.
more affordable for somebody to buy a house cheaply, you're actually hurting the value of those houses, obviously, because the one thing works in tandem with the other. And I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt the value of people that own a house.
So it seems kind of counterintuitive, but what I think he's saying is he wants to lower mortgage rates, and he wants to have less competition in the market to make it easier for buyers. But we, of course, got some rough numbers this morning. That is a huge drop in December pending home sales, down 9% month to month, even as interest rates kind of just sat around on the low side. The realtors said that put a damper on this whole year's housing outlook.
Yeah, the number was really bad, and like many, I thought, okay, well, in the margin, rates were in a downward, trajectory. I mean, maybe it wasn't the sub 6% moment yet, but still.
Yeah, I mean, they were sitting right around 6.25% in December. Remember, these pendings are based on signed contracts, so it's people out shopping during the month. They're seeing that mortgage rate, which really did not move at all, and they are seasonally adjusted, so I know it's the slow time of the year. Still, I think it had more to do with just general affordability, the fact that while rates sat around 6.25, they're still higher than they were last summer. And also it's this general uncertainty in the economy. We've talked to, our housing market survey, our quarterly survey of realtors was saying people are just nervous about the economy and sitting on the sidelines.
I never followed the.
All right, y'all. So the general sentiment on that is, do we think that's going to be helpful? So a lot of policy has been made to try to help Americans achieve certain things. And this is supposed to help people get into a house. So I'm going to go ahead and share the White House specific information so we can talk about a few things in here that were not covered in the video. So this is specifically from the White House. Okay. So this is the source of it. Every American seeking to buy a home should have access to a mortgage from a reliable lender at a rate basically from their credit. So they go into, how we ended up getting mortgages, regulatory changes. One of the things that I want to shout out is that community banks, generally institutions with fewer than 30 billion in assets, have been especially affected. Now, they didn't talk about this part, but this is supposed to help community banks provide the actual funds to get more mortgages in their portfolio, in their books, and in their bank for assets as well. So that's a part that was not talked about in the video that's supposed to help. They also want to reduce regulatory burdens so more people have access to get the money to buy a home. So the point of this is we want to get more people to be able to buy more houses. So the people in their house should be able to sell to other people. But then if you hear from that video, he was like, but I don't want to bring the price of the actual house down. So
yeah, so
you're going to have a problem there.
Let the market speak for itself is really what it's saying.
So if these houses, keep in mind too, pre-pandemic, some of these houses, we're going to use a $600,000 house, for example. Some of these houses that's worth $600,000 now, they were not $600,000 houses pre-pandemic. And we ain't talking about 10, 20, 30 years of actual value that it's been sitting somewhere, right? We're talking a couple years. They're almost doubling in some places. And that what Trump said just then was, President Trump said, I'm standing on business, it's worth $600,000. And people are like, no.
Okay.
That's part
How
of the
about
problem.
this? At a glance, we talk about what an appreciating asset is from a home perspective, right? So you go into a new community, you're a young, spry couple, right? It might be 1972, right? So house in 1972 at a high ballpark, we'll say it costs $40,000. How much did you get paid a year? You probably got paid maybe $15,000 a year, right? And that's a good salary, middle class salary. So that's about 2 to 3.5 times your salary for a house that you're going to stay in for 30 years. What does that mean? That means that you don't have to be in mortgage hell for your foreseeable future. So one, it's a loan that you can see the end on, especially when you're able to pay on the principal, how some people are able to do to get that down. All right, now we're going to fast forward you to the year 2000, and now that same house that you got for $30,000 is now worth $300,000 because you bought it out in the burbs, right? So it was maybe one school, maybe two, and you had one police station, you had one fire station, a few parks. But in that amount of time, infrastructure has been built, right? Stores. There's a headquarters for the biggest company in town that's there. So now there's demand that's facilitating the fact that that house went from $30,000 along with inflation, right, to $300,000. Pandemic comes. A little while later. Now we're at 50 years. So now your grandma's house. So grandma's house from that time was $300,000. It went from $30,000 to $300,000 to $900,000. And we're talking about Nashville, damn Tennessee, out of all places. Right. Yes, there is
that demand, but that's different though. That demand and who moved in there and the money that they brought in there from where is the Nashville situation. We ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about why is Nebraska, okay? That's what I'm gonna talk about.
We can talk about those areas.
Yeah, why are those places? So because if we didn't have people moving these big box places, I can see you bringing money.
And tell a story. Can I do that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. What I am getting into is the fact that people move from higher cost of living areas and seeking to get lower cost regions to give their dollars to, because then they got more to go around. Shit, if I was in California, New York, I sell my house in New York or California, I could buy 2, 3 of these houses, and I was in an apartment in New York. So now I got a income property, or I got 2 income properties. Guess what I get to do with leverage on the income property? I get to 10x that. So I only got to put down $10,000 for a $100,000 home, right? And now I'm saying that that's income. I could flip that 3 or 4 times. So this is where we're at. We're over leveraging in a lot of different places. So you got credit cards, you got a whole lot of things that people are over leveraging in the space that we're talking about. So one of the other pieces that we're talking about with protections, and I don't even know why I know this, I just read random things. Dodd-Frank is one of those other things that were designed to protect against ninja loans, right? So not too long ago, no income, no job, you were able to get loans for a hefty sum, and they knew it was going to be a killer. You weren't going to be able to pay it back, but they wrote the bad loans anyway. It's not necessarily predatory, because even a lot of people, they were surprised that they got shit. I just heard it was giving out houses, so shit. I went in one. Now there are some people who struggle, scribed, whatever they had to do, and they've stayed in those houses. But I hope that they would have at least renegotiated their mortgage terms between, being in that predatory lending situation to where they are, today. Well, not today, right? Because your interest rate isn't good, but in that amount of time, it's been 15 years. So I hope that you wouldn't still be in that type of situation. The end. Go ahead.
Can't nobody enforce shit. The end.
That's pretty much where we at.
That's in layman's terms, that's what it is. And he don't want to decrease the pricings on homes because he don't want people to lose the value of possibly making a profit, because somebody with some deep pockets that really want your home, they'll come and buy it. So I got to tell you, the last home that I lived in, we had all kinds of problems. And I know for a fact that they weren't fixed. They cleaned it up, they redid a kitchen, and they sold that damn house for 200 grand more than what they were talking to me about buying it for. So that's kind of where we are. You got some people, if they want it, they're gonna buy it, but that's why he I don't want to lower the pricing on it. If anything, let's work on trying to lower the APR, lower what's what we gonna pay on these loans, on that interest. But time will tell with that as well.
Lowering the APR does not change the value of the home. It just changes how much you got to pay on top of the loan.
That's what I'm saying. He'll probably affect that first before he changed the pricing of these homes. If anything, they're not going to do nothing but possibly just get more expensive as certain areas get better. And then what's going to happen? Those who don't have a lot of money, they're going to buy a pistol and go to the neighborhood and try to get a home. You can still get you one of them, some under 120,000, under 100,000. We saw a video of what that gets you.
In some of these areas, if you want to dig deep enough, you can get a home for less than 10,000. It's not going to be what you like. It's not in a space where you feel like it's a good space, but gentrification happens, and that investment will make a turnaround. Next thing you know, you got with poodles and ascots going down the street looking at other people like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me?
Talking about some Harper. What brings you to the neighborhood? Like, what the? I used to sell dope down the street from here. What is he talking about? Not in my neighborhood. I go to the coffee shop. Yeah, it don't take long. Just 10 years away. Just gotta sit on it. Pause.
Yeah, that brings me to like this. This is what y'all talking about right here.
Oh yeah.
Well, kind of. This property is a triplex, meaning 3 apartments all under one roof, which I honestly prefer.
Yeah, play no games.
What 60,000 get you?
Police.
Right here.
I called in about it. Just letting you guys know.
They're trying to keep the hood from getting gentrified.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Pretty much. There you go.
So that's an example of what you were talking about right there. So that's the one right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like
you just gonna sit out here. You're gonna talk about.
You gotta. I'm looking for a nice house. You gotta come through like that. I mean, unfortunately, and you better have some money to just fix it up. It's gonna be, and you might not have pipe.
And when you fix it up, well, I was gonna say, when you fix it up, you gotta have a sign out in the front that say all PVC, so nobody can come in and
right.
PVC only. So real quick before we go to our next topic, I wanted to touch a few other things on here. One of the things in this is also about updating how standards are done. So for example, they want to modernize a lot of it. So electronic forms, a lot of times everybody who's had a mortgage in the past, right? Most of y'all, if not all of y'all, you had to sign a gazillion pieces of paper to be like, yes, I signed my life over for this house. He said, listen, what we're not going to do is do that. So why don't we put this digital? So that's one of the things in here is like, let's make as much data collection digital as we can. Another thing was in here is like a digital, like a AI appraisal kind of digital thing. So trying to do that. Also allowing, like I said, smaller places to get the capital to lend to people. More affordable housing is in here. There's some, what's the other? This is it right here. This is appraisal modernization was what I was talking about. Modernizing appraisal regulations and guidance to expand the use of alternative evaluation models. This is AI, desktop, and hybrid appraisals. Artificial intelligence evaluation tools. So that is, instead of you getting an appraisal from a person, y'all gonna go around your house like looking at the corner. You see this right here? That's an appraisal. That's what you're about to do. They want to simplify it through that.
But I think that there's going to be issues with that as well.
Yes, because the thing is, these are the same people who act like they don't know how to work their phone. We really gonna believe that they appraising the right. It's crazy. So that's just a few things I wanted to point out in there is that if you wonder how some of this is going to be more cost savings, if you were to reduce paper, if you were to reduce the actual human who would have to do the work, you cut out certifications for that, and you make people, anytime you make people self-service, you're going to save money. And that's why we talked about this before. Remember, people were mad about scanning, and they said, well, if I'm going to scan my own stuff, then I should be getting a check. Because I'm a cashier now. I'm bringing my own stuff out, which, to be fair, I mean, you could like give a discount, a kickback on the items, but whatever. That's not here nor there. But that's how some of that cost savings could be built up.
Some people give themselves a discount when they do it. They scan
5 fingers.
Every 3 items or something like that. Yeah. Right. AI has made
1, 2, 3 for me. 1, 2, 3 for me.
And a TV for the price of an orange.
Right. So Joe said there's 1 million forms to sign digitally already. Then you got to go to the title agency, and then you physically got to sign 1 million more in person, right? Because
they trying to take all that out.
Well, you're signing up for the loan, then the house gets assigned to the bank. So there's separations. Your promissory notes. If you've been in school and had to sign student loans, it's the same thing. Got a bunch of 17 and a half to 24-year-olds that be signing their life away every year and not knowing what's going on. But let's get back into the mortgage credit piece. So whenever the White House, they start talking about promoting access to quote unquote mortgage credit, that usually means that they know ownership is out of reach. So instead of fixing the price, supply, and wages, They start just fixing that access to the actual debt that you can get, right? So let's move the levers for that. So that's the classic American move, right? Don't make the house cheaper, make the monthly payment easier to swallow. So that's what we're talking about, those 50-year mortgages that came up, right? So for regular people, more credit is only good if it leads to ownership at same prices. So people that look at the price versus my payments, same thing like a car, right? Otherwise, it just lets you finance overpricing with a smile. So they keep selling people a bigger key to a house that they still can't afford.
I'm just here to dance. That's it.
Speaking of feet,
Wow.
I saved my money OF by self-serving.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow.
All right, Joe, that was good.
All
Good
right. So
segue.
listen, y'all. Nothing says freedom like finances a kitchen until 2063. But while we over here financing things forever, ICE can't even keep the case together with all the paperwork. So we talk about ICE from time to time, and it's time for us to touch on it real quick because there are some courts that are pushing back. So let's just quickly get into that a little bit, not too much. See what's going on with ICE.
Donald Trump's mass deportation program has been brutal, violent, and deeply unpopular. The American public, you and me, we've borne witness to a procession of horrifying videos of neighbors being mistreated by newly emboldened federal forces in mass sweeps. Now there's a way to quantify the government's overreach. A team of journalists at Politico, led by the senior legal affairs reporter there, Kyle Cheney, has been following and analyzing the thousands of lawsuits that have been filed against government officials by immigrants who have been detained by ICE. They created a database of those cases, and the findings from their analysts are stark. There have been 11,600 lawsuits filed between July of last year and now.
Here's my real question, though, real quick before we go any further. We can file paperwork for lawsuits, but y'all can't file y'all paperwork to be legal here.
So you got to ask who actually helping them file.
You see what I'm
the
saying?
paperwork.
Like you did all this, but like to get a lawyer and to file paperwork ain't no joke. It's not an easy process.
Speaking no
You got a
English, but you know lawsuit.
But you couldn't go get your paperwork in time. All of y'all. I'm sure there's anomalies to everything, and there's situations to everything. So it ain't everyone. But if you got a database, he didn't say a file. He said database, meaning that it's a lot. That's probably thousands plus.
Yeah.
And none of y'all. He said no habla el lawsuit. Joe.
Oh my goodness.
But seriously though, like, but seriously though, like that blows my mind. Drops a drip in the comments. Maybe I'll be ridiculous, but to me, if you can find a lawyer and somehow figure that out, you can figure out how to send a piece of paper to a judge and say, listen, I don't got the bread for this right now. I don't even know who I'm supposed to talk to yet, but I want to make this right. Chances are somebody will probably help you. Somebody will probably help you. Like Americans usually as a whole, they gonna be like, I forget. Like somebody will probably, and we got public defenders and stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna keep playing this because this is, you got lawsuit time and money, but you can't fill out your name, address, and what you doing here with some paperwork, who you work for. Wild.
The Trump administration has prevailed in about 1,200 of those cases, which means, this is just basic Sunday morning math, judges ruled against the Trump administration in 10,400 cases, roughly 90% of all the lawsuits reviewed by Politico. Now, what's legal and what's not? The law does grant the president broad discretion to determine how to carry out the mission of immigration enforcement, but it does not give him unilateral authority to detain or deport whomever he wants. There are still, believe it or not, some some guardrails in place. There are.
So that's the problem. The problem is that you can't just decide who got to get up out of here like that, like now, because it's a level of due process. So I'm going to let them go ahead and cook.
Some laws that protect individual rights, including the rights of the so-called undocumented. I want to get into that term a little bit. Other news outlets call them illegal. We don't call them illegal, but now I'm thinking maybe undocumented doesn't even really get you to the point. And I'll tell you why in a minute. There are procedures that the government must follow when there is somebody who claims asylum or tries to become an immigrant to this country. The procedures are there to ensure that the rights are protected. But the court records that Politico studied revealed that the Trump administration's approach has violated many of those laws and procedures. More than 400 district court judges across the country have been involved in deciding these cases. Judges appointed by both Democratic and Republican presidents have ruled against this administration's policies, including some appointed by Trump.
Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that there's a level of, even though like what's going on is there's a clash happening with the law and what's happening. The other clash that's also happened where the rubber hit the road with voting is what people feel is right and wrong. Just because the law says we got undocumented people that are allowed here, how is that impacting my life? And so that is the part where people were using their vote to let their lawmakers know that you need to change that. So this is what's going on right here with some of that. There's people who are using their vote to say, I understand that undocumented people have these rights to do X, Y, Z. That don't mean I want it to stay like that. Now, a lot has happened since then. I'd be curious to know, do those people still feel that way today? Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all still feel the way you did a couple years ago? Or based on things that have happened, have you changed your view on immigration, on ICE, on, so tip of my tongue.
DHS.
Homeland Security. Sorry, Homeland Security. Yeah, it's up right there. Drop some drip in the comments. Let us know. Joe says there's specific laws in place preventing rampant asylum status seeking. Can't go anywhere and just say asylum and think you get in. Other countries don't just allow you just to pull up either. You can't go to, I use this all the time. Try going to Denmark or Sweden talking about, I'm here, what's up? And they be like, get out.
Can't be somewhere to
Canada.
Don't you?
Hey, where you going? Where you going? I'm getting off the plane. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I'll send you to
run that back.
Right back around. Turn your ass right. Pilot, we'll see you later.
Where your sponsor at? Where your sponsor at?
Look, they're gonna pat the pilot on his back pocket. Yeah, you get up out of here. We'll see y'all later. He ain't staying.
Where your sponsor at? Your sponsor come pick you up? You're not leaving here till they come get you.
My mama said we can't have no more company. You gotta go.
I mean, really, it gets into a little bit of, the things are, people look like they're doing something and they're not acting within the parameters of law, which is really what's catching up. So like the cases, it takes time in order to catch up with some of the activities that are going on. But why are the ICE cases not sticking in the first place? Cases are not sticking. I'm gonna talk about to my pockets. So I'm a taxpayer. So that means that we're funding a revolving door. So that's the raids, that's the detention, that's the court time, that's the transport, that's the headlines. And then it's a non-result, non-factor that comes in with all of this time, all of this money that's being given out. It's giving grift. It's giving grift to me, and it's pissing me off. So what does it mean, though? It means that the state looks tough, right? Because we're talking about the performance now. It means the contractors get paid. And then it means that the actual system itself stays sloppy. And that's the unfortunate piece. So I always come at things from a money angle. And this is expensive theater to me. Expensive as hell. And useless law. And unless the evidence of law and labor policies actually line up, which it really doesn't right now, then it's a waste. So if the case doesn't stick, what does it mean? It means that the bill still does to all of us. My money.
Exactly.
And I'm listening. I'm
That's
trying to
right.
find what Joe had put in the comments. So that's what I'm doing, y'all. I'm looking for, trying to figure out if I can find what he was talking about.
Just trying to see if you can find the.
Yeah. I'm trying to find what he's talking about. He said it was. Oh, they were U.S. citizens too. Okay, let me see if I can find.
Yeah,
that.
you got U.S. citizens getting caught up in this bull crap because proper protocol isn't being followed.
I think I found it. That was 2019. That was over here doing this foolery. What? If this is, yeah, I think this is it right here. So, Joe, let me know if this is what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure that it is, though. Found this. Had to go on for the search. Let me delete that because I already know I'm getting in trouble. I know. Look, I was trying to find it, to be fair.
800,000 migrants applying for asylum in the U.S., and most of the issues surrounding them have been well documented. But while much attention has been paid to the separation at the border of typical families, some migrant rights advocates are calling attention to the plight of a group they say gets lost in the immigration debate. NewsHour Weekend's Yvette Feliciano has more.
This past May, about 200 people from across the United States and Puerto Rico gathered in Philadelphia for a conference.
Oh no, this is the U.S. then. Okay, no.
Guess what?
But
The
apparently,
rights fight is pushing.
So this
us
apparently
to the
happened
edge.
in 2019.
The sentiments they expressed were.
Nah, I can't find that. Joe, I'm gonna have to do some more research to find that specific one. I can't find anything about Denmark or Sweden that's saying that, but we'll take your word for it. But I would challenge y'all. Go over there. Tell them you want to come over there and hang out, kick it. Go over there. They gonna send you back home.
He said he gonna find it and send it.
Okay.
They
gonna tell you go back home.
We got our Gmail. You send it through Facebook. You can send it through YouTube. You can send it through Our Daily Drip Show IG. You can send it through Our Daily Drip on X. You can send it through Our Daily
It's
Drip
down.
Show
It's
on,
down at the tickler below.
And if you
Just
want
scroll down
to,
the bottom.
we already know that Jim Jones is a little thirsty. You can buy our coffee.
Wow. Speaking of being thirsty, wow. Republicans call off vote on Iran war resolution that was on the verge of passing. So we're going from immigration confusion to constitutional confusion because they over here beefing back and forth with all this. So let's take a look. We got 2 videos for that.
They knew this vote would pass. Had the vote to pass. But instead of allowing the voice of the people to be heard, everyone, you look at go across America, everyone knows it's a war of choice and it should stop. As soon as we get back here, that vote has to happen. Procedurally, they had 2 days to do it. They canceled votes tomorrow. So procedurally, it has to be done when we come back. And I think that we may end up with more votes than we had today. We had the votes to pass it today. Every Democrat was on board. We had the sufficient number of Republicans on board.
But people gonna try to work their hand during this break. I mean, that's how I go. What can I give you?
Based upon what the law dictates Congress does, as it is our constitutional responsibility.
This was on May 21st. That was yesterday. So here's another video we got as well. Let me share because I'm gonna share both of them, then we can get to it.
Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentleman from Massachusetts seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, can you explain to the members of the chamber what is happening with the Iran War Powers resolution that was scheduled to be voted on this evening?
The gentleman have a parliamentary question.
That is my parliamentary inquiry. I just want to know what has happened with the Iran War Powers resolution.
The gentleman may consult with your leadership regarding scheduling.
Mr. Speaker, further parliamentary inquiry. Are we not voting on it because the American people are sick and tired of this illegal war that is costing tens of billions of dollars? Gas prices are through the roof. People can't afford their groceries. Is that why you're pulling it? You guys don't have the guts or the balls.
The House will be in order. This House will be in order. The chair is prepared.
We're going to Washington, D.C.
I'm gonna tell you right now. He gave me Colonel Sanders vibes. I don't care what nobody said. He came up there. Sit down. But there's a lot going back and forth. Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that this is a game of I don't really wanna rough stuff up, but I don't really agree with it, so I'm just gonna sit it out? Or is it simply just timing? People deserve to have days off. People got stuff going on.
Damn, they had a lot of days off already. I mean, shit, Congress was out of session because it was shut down. That wasn't that long ago. How many vacations? They starting to look like in the UK, they get all kind of vacation days and holiday in over there. But for this, this is really why people start tuning out of politics, to be honest. So Congress says it wants its war powers back, while Trump says the War Powers Act is unconstitutional. So everybody's arguing over language while the public still pays the consequences. So the state's favorite trick is wordplay. And they can rename authority or redefine it, however they try to do it. They can redefine accountability. Always go back to my pockets. For my pockets, unauthorized conflict still means unauthorized spending. That's unauthorized debt. That's unauthorized weapons. That's unauthorized oil volatility and more instability that's priced into our daily life. So whether it's word salad or word play, my wallet is getting drafted out of this more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get to a point where somebody got to have the nuts to say yes.
Or at least the feet.
No.
You know what I'm
saying? The feet. But somebody got to be willing to say yes or no. And that's it. Like somebody got to. Somebody got to. Somebody got to. So we'll see how this pan out. We'll keep y'all posted. Let y'all see what's going on with that, because next. Let's talk about the real battleground, y'all. Elementary schools. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay. So the first one we got, this is kind of serious though, because the reason why I bring this up, and we ain't got to play the whole video. I'll just give y'all the cliff notes. This mother placed a camera in her child's hair, and her child, her child has special needs, and she put the camera in the baby hair, and the teacher, one of the male teachers, come to find out that he was beating up on this little boy while some of the other teachers left. And so the mother saw the video, pulled up to the school, and said, "Nah, police on their way up here. He going to jail. He going to jail." because you can't do that. She said, y'all been telling me my son is violent, he this and that, and I keep telling y'all at home he's not like this. And y'all swear up and down that my kid is like this. You swear up and down my kid is like this. So that's why I went on ahead and put this camera in there. So this is her talking about what happened with her child, and she with the father as well, and she's speaking about it.
With me, my son's father, James. I appreciate everyone being here.
And her child is autistic, nonverbal.
This all started because over the course of months, I was flooded with calls and complaints about my child's behavior. Behavior that was not typical, not normal, and not something as his parents we had ever seen in our sweet child. As his mother, I knew in my heart something was not right. I ordered a camera to be my son's eyes, his ears, his voice. I secretly hid the camera in his hair and sent him off to school on May 13th. And when I said I hid it, this is the camera I hid. So let's be clear. I stand before you, not just as a...
So yeah, she showed them. That's how I hid it. Matter of fact, it's in my hair. Boom. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Real dramatic with it.
So look, she did your report card. No, I didn't even show you the video where she was actually going off. But there is one more video that I want to show before we have the overall discussion, because my real question to all this is that we have cameras and so forth for schools, right? But the main deterrent for stuff like that is, well, I don't think I'm gonna show that video, but is we have security and stuff like inside the school. My question with some of this is that I don't like, maybe security is not set up in a way that we really need it to be. Maybe all cameras should be all throughout the school, because there's another video circulating where there was a kindergarten graduation and the parents is fighting at the kindergarten graduation over a seat. Like, you can't go nowhere in these schools. Yeah, they're fighting about a seat.
That was over a seat?
Mm-hmm.
Kindergarten seat where these kids ain't gonna sit down.
Kindergarten graduation. Something you're supposed to do. Let's keep it a buck. Who failed in kindergarten? Who failed in pre-K? So we got to celebrate that with balloons and the whole thing? I'm gonna let y'all on secret. I ain't even go to nobody preschool, baby. I went straight to kindergarten. So I'm trying to figure this out. So y'all fighting. Y'all, the teachers is over here abusing the kids. You got kids pulling up, getting bullied, and stabbing and shooting, everything else. Like, it's a lot going on. Do we think if there were, because it's very real with the Palantir and the surveillance, that the more this happens, the higher chance that you're going to have AI really in the classrooms, and not even just the classrooms, in, around, and throughout the school. Y'all keep playing.
It turns into a surveillance state at that point.
It's basically going to be jail.
It is true.
And honestly, in your average school, it usually is a camera in there, but
yeah, I mean, I went to a school that had metal detectors and all of that, right? Growing up. So
my daughter, I wish I could show y'all the footage of my daughter beating up a girl that was bullying her. They got all of that on camera. They wouldn't let me keep the footage though.
No, because there's another kid on the camera.
It was great. Oh, she whooped.
What?
Oh,
it was a bully.
She whooped all kind of ass.
Everything we taught her, brother. Oh, it was beautiful. The drag, it was it really happened. She got suspended. She got in trouble for it, but she wasn't bullied ever again. And my daughter's one of those girls that didn't want to fight, but you keep pressing that button. Yeah, it went there. It went there, but she didn't get bothered again after that.
So never went to a school with metal detector. I can tell you the one and only time I've ever went through one. We had a basketball game against the city school. Now I kind of knew there's a
She
chance,
was about
right?
to
But I
say
never.
inner city school. She was about to go
I
there.
was. But I seen it on like Sunset Park, right? I seen it on like other movies, but not in real life, right? So we pull up, and I'm like, man, this is real. They're like, put your bag up there. You know, all the white girls up there. Oh my God, put it up there. That's a true reenactment. I'm not even joking. They were scared. I'm like, we about to get dogged in this game. Y'all can't even make it through metal detectors. But that's the first time and only time I actually ever in a school had to go through that. Man, look, listen.
They won.
The craziest part is I had hurt my ankle, so I didn't even play in that game. I just saw them get mocked, boy. Jim, why can't you put your shoes on? Because they said I couldn't play today. Y'all need to play some defense. I don't know which, arms up, something. You know?
Is it arms up or against the wall? Which one are we doing here?
Listen, one of them girls ended up going to the WNBA. I'm not even joking with you, but what I'm saying is that at that moment when I went through that, I realized honestly how privileged we were. Because I understood that was their normal. Everybody else around me, because like when I went through the metal detectors, you know, everybody else in there, they look like me. They looking at me. Yeah, so I'm trying not to be weird about it, but that's their normal. So we make kids in certain environments feel like that every day. My real question on this is maybe they should compare safety in those environments versus not. And if it's good enough for them, why is it not good enough for them?
It certainly should be mandated.
Bel Air Prep played Beverly Hills.
Right.
I wish. If that's the case, I definitely was Will Smith because baby, I was not Hillary Banks. I promise you that. It was not that. It was not it over here.
Now look at her trying to regain a poor person's black
card back. I didn't say it was poor. Will wasn't, his mama wasn't poor. I don't think his mama was poor. He was running.
When Uncle Phil rich.
Yeah, he wasn't Uncle Phil rich. And also he had got in trouble. It wasn't because his mama was like, oh, I can't feed my son. Like it wasn't, he wasn't there.
She ain't had that relocation paper.
Yeah, and Will wasn't there. I'm not saying that Will wasn't there because he was poor. Like, I don't think he ever said he just lived in a neighborhood that was not Bel Air.
One little fight, my mom got scared. Said, you move with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
Bel Air, yeah. She didn't say
I got some friends that happened with. I got a friend that mama had to send him off to a southern state when things got funky for him in the Midwest.
Listen, people do that with chicks all the time. Let them have a baby. They didn't ship the girl up out of there. Stop playing. Ain't got nothing to do with no money. You getting out of here. You gonna start
auntie and them. You down there with auntie and them ASAP.
Yeah, so it ain't got nothing to do with that. But that's my biggest my thing on this is we talk a little bit about AI, but we also talk about regulation. Should that be something that people as the constituents push? Like you don't do it just in this subset. Make it real time everywhere. You think kids will tighten up? Their parents can log in, see where they at for real?
No, well that only
Bathroom's
works
about to be the club. Bathroom about to be
got,
club in there.
No, that only work if parents are actually parenting. They gonna do that to try to say that some kid is doing something to my kid, or why is my kid sitting by themselves? And it'll just bring a whole new meaning to helicopter parent. Now it's, Paul Blart parent. Because they ain't going to do nothing but surveil all the cameras.
Look, Jenny, I'm going to need you to go take that Zany and go chill.
All right, do that now. Because
you got other problems you need to worry about now. Besides
daycare centers got cameras where you can be in all that. Yeah.
Man, you got schools with the impression of cameras, and half of the cameras don't even work.
Don't work. Yeah.
It's just really props, So it's really to scare the kids, scared straight program, if you will. I worked in a building like that.
All right. Well, it sounds like that's crazy though. Fighting and also these kindergarten graduations. How about we just stop doing all that? Did y'all graduate from kindergarten? Drop some drip in the comments. Let me know. Did you graduate from pre-K, kindergarten? I've heard of 5th grade graduations, middle school graduation. Y'all do any of that? I was just told like you supposed to do it. So I never got no graduation. So I got high school graduation.
I had a kindergarten graduation. I did.
I had one.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. Y'all talk about me. I ain't never had that.
I mean, but I went to a school system where, if you graduated high school, it was, great for you.
That was like a college graduation.
Right. You mean
everybody showed up.
Right. Yeah.
People flew in for that.
Please be quiet. They call your name. Doing all that kind of shit.
Oh, we let you play, Dave. Still remember that. Every school it was a graduation.
Oh man, Joe got them 802s with that GED,
and that's all right because it ain't for
y'all
everybody.
About them
Everybody
threes.
get there
Them
their
threes
own
is
way.
heavy. Them GEDs and them 802s, boy.
Please. Half of the people that was sitting in the stands watching me graduate was making more than the principals.
There you go.
I'll leave it at that.
And you know what? I ain't even gonna lie. People who went like I remember they used to send.
Prom is actually what everybody cares about.
They was like, "Oh, you graduated? You go 200, little. You like, man, okay." Everybody gave me $100. Like, damn, wait a minute, what? You don't work? Don't worry about that. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Listen, I remember when they used to send all the bad kids to trade school. Look at them now. Look at them now.
Yeah,
I should have just been a bad kid.
They're the one with 1,000 hustles. The ones you sent to them trade schools. They're the ones that got the
on the beauty salons and barber shops.
They got barber shops.
Yeah, auto shops. Yeah.
Fixing their own
people
cars.
with GEDs. And people with the GEDs, they got no debt out here getting to the bag. Man.
There you go, Joe. And I hope that you paying it back because you might actually change the life of a kid that don't think that school is for them, and it might not be, but then they also can see themselves in you and what you've become. So, keep pushing, and we applaud that. Mentorship is needed in communities.
It is, and that's gonna get to our last part of the people's briefing. So listen, let's talk about discrimination real quick. This lady got fired from her job for acting like this. And we go talk about discrimination in a minute as to why. Take this.
Fired after she refused to hug the only Black student in her class. It happened at a party at an elementary school in Michigan.
Hey, good job,
the teacher
Lola.
went around hugging her children, but when it was time for
Yeah,
Aaliyah,
good.
the only Black student in the class,
Watch
she
out,
did
Lola.
not hug Aaliyah. Instead, she patted her on the shoulder and then moved on to the next child. Aaliyah was crushed. There were tears in her eyes, and she begged the teacher to come back, but the teacher deliberately ignored her. The moment was quickly
Right here.
recorded and
She's like,
spread online,
yeah,
sparking public outrage. After seeing it, Aaliyah's mother filed a complaint with the school. The school administration conducted an investigation and confirmed what happened. That same afternoon, the school announced that the teacher had been fired immediately.
So look, her shirt says "School's out forever." Is
Because her
nasty
behavior
word.
had caused serious harm in a public
Yeah, for
setting.
you, girl.
Some people felt it might have just been a misunderstanding, a small oversight. But others felt it was obviously deliberate. She hugged every
These
single
teachers ain't got
child,
no problem
but
holding these
skipped
babies.
only one Black girl. That kind of hurt can stay with someone for a lifetime.
So why is this relevant? We talk about a lot of things being legal. So let's talk about discrimination for a second. Discrimination, in order for it to be illegal, has to fall under a protected class. So just because somebody doesn't like you is not a good enough reason for you to be able to have a lawsuit, right? Drop some drip in the comments for our lawyers. Y'all can correct me if you want to. Appreciate it very much. The reason why she's in trouble is because they could clearly see that all the other groups of kids, minus that child, who just happened to be Black, which is race protected class, was excluded. So this is just to clarify. This is why she got in trouble. Now, if she had skipped all the boys or all the girls, that also would have been discrimination. If she would have found all the kids who had the rainbows on, 2 snaps and a twist, she would have also been in trouble for that. There are certain classes that
classes, yeah.
correct. There's certain classes able-bodied. So if it was a group of wheelchair kids, and she was like tapping them on the head and walked by and hugged everybody else, but tapped them on the head, she in trouble. Drop some drip in the comments. Do you think that this was a misunderstanding, or it could have just have been she ain't like that kid and that kid happened to just be in a protected class? Do we think that teachers shouldn't touch children?
Man, you got some teachers that just have beef with kids. Now it's weird, but you got teachers. I just don't like that kid for whatever reason.
I was one of them teachers.
Like, I just don't like your.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It comes with the territory, man. You're not gonna like all your kids. You can teach them. You're gonna be kind and courteous to them, but you don't have to like them. What tends to happen, I will say, the kids that you didn't like, they end up loving you for some strange reason, and then the relationship change once they see that you really not on their shit. You really not going for what they on. Now all of a sudden, that's your home. If you anybody with any kind of heart and you love your job, I mean, that just comes with the program. But on the start out, like, I don't like this little bastard. I already see this gonna be a problem. Day one. I'm gonna check the shit out of this one the second he or she get out of pocket, because I already see where this is going. You know, they already snippy. But then once you dig into their story, now you like, I love little Choo-Choo, man. I couldn't stand his ass when he first got here. That's my homie now. And that's how it's supposed to be. Now, we in quarter 3 and you still beefing. No, your ass need another job. You need to work for UPS. Because you sitting around mad at a kid all the damn time. You just need to be delivering package. Amazon is hiring. The hell with that. You don't need to be an educator. Seriously. Because that's just, and that lady there, she didn't need to be an educator. Don't tell them what type of policies and type of idealistic trash that she's on. But I'm sorry, you gotta love all them babies. And at that age and that little, you could be irritated with a kid. You don't hard body dislike a kid until they're at least in the 4th grade. That's my motto. I can't stand their ass. Yeah, when they little,
well,
man.
Yeah, they don't know no better.
Ain't no little ass kid. They don't know no better. But once they start formulating those little personalities, when you can identify the sweet kid from the assholes, you're gonna be like, oh, no, he's an asshole. Then it turns into, yeah, he an asshole, but he my asshole, and you ain't gonna mistreat him. Now you checking other teachers about it. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's how it goes.
Like, hey, you don't know what's going on.
Wait a minute. I know how he can be. I get it. I got him though. You don't say nothing to him. I got him. Because he's not going to listen to you. He's going to flip on you and call you a fat, pigly built bastard. Me, he's not going to do that with. So let me get Jerome.
You got some issues. Yeah, just bring him over to me.
Go ahead. Yeah, if you have a problem with little JR and them, bring him to me. He already know what time it is with me. We got the bond to where I can check him like that. You know what I mean?
Sometimes the delivery just got to be different because that's the households or the culture that they grow up in. But we get into the space where we talk about legal discrimination, though, and this is the kind of topic that people dodge because once discrimination becomes legal, it gets that cleaner language, and then that means better paperwork, which is why the teacher got what she got. So the state can bless unequal treatment without calling it that, and that means zoning. Let's open it up. We talking about access. We talking about placement. If we're going to talk about kids going to certain schools with certain amenities, right? Admissions, right? So lending, then the discipline is all of it. So from that money angle that I always go back to, because, I got to talk about the money.
Oh, yeah.
Legal discrimination is just inequality with policy protection and a polished memo. So if they stamp it and make it legal, then they don't have to call it dirty.
And deeper than that, all I saw was a film filled. It was just a bunch of bags of money. Come October, when they do the attendance, because that's really what that's where the school get to stay open, because you're getting paid per child. And that's why they can't wait to misdiagnose a kid too, because if he's special needs, they get even more money. So it's a whole nother thing. But No, she
Especially
just
on
didn't even need to
mistakes.
be she don't need to be a damn teacher. They did her a favor. But you in there like, I love you, Timmy. Come here, little Brittany. Excuse me, Shatika. Like, nah, you on some trash. Get your ass up out of there. You don't belong there. This ain't for you. This ain't for you because I got plenty. I work with, man, listen. I had plenty of co-workers that were white, and they always, I mean, in every urban school district, you'll see a building filled with white people. You're very lucky if you find it to where it's evened out between a race of different educators. It's just not going to happen. Just like you're not going to see a bunch of men teachers. It just doesn't happen that way, right? But they loved everybody, and they had their kids they couldn't stand, but they couldn't even outright show that. I bet they went home and probably said some outlandish shit in regards to them kids, but you didn't catch them giving that energy or that attitude during the school day. Every now and again, you get the one that flip their wig, but they say stuff like, I just can't take it anymore. I'm sick of this. But they don't say anything too crazy. They don't want to get sued. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to go too far off the deep end with it. But, yeah. We'll see her at, she going to be on TikTok trying to get some money raised at some point. She looked like one of them kind.
Yeah, it's, the reason why I bring that up is a lot of times people be like, I'll sue you if you do this. Well, you got to fall into those classes. And so people also get upset like, well, you're only doing it because they're this. Well, sometimes that is the case because they are this, literally a protected class. Yeah. So we're bringing this up to educate that she could very well not like someone. It's not that you can't not like the kid. The problem was that kid was apparently the only kid in that protected class. Had you had another, let's say there would have been a black boy there and you would have dapped him up and gave him a hug, be like, I love you, little JoJo. She'd have been cool.
Keep it all the way real. It looked like her shirt said Salt Lake City or something like that. So
her shirt said schools out.
This is Salt Lake City. If it was Salt Lake City, like
it said schools out forever is what her shirt said.
It said school. She was ready to get fired.
She said out there she was right. It was out forever for her. It was out forever for her.
It started before then. It started with pencils being passed out. Her last couldn't get a pencil. She couldn't get the pencil that she wanted. It started off with small stuff when she was passing out the cupcakes. For some reason,
microaggressions. Yeah,
it always starts somewhere, and then it led up to you part of the shoulder pat club. Like what? But you hugged everybody else. So she got it off for too long, as what I'm saying. That was not the first instance. Like
she wasn't expecting somebody to film her.
Yeah. Usually it's been her word against the little girls for a while now. I bet you, if you talk to that parent, I bet that's why she was over there crying. Because she probably was crying because she like, finally they saw it. I'm about to get a check. I'm about to get paid because it's obviously some trash. But it started smaller than that. It was little microaggressive things that took place. She got caught off the playground before the other kids did. She always had to do some extra work while everybody else played. I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet there's a background of little.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that there's a paper trail there with all of that.
Got it.
Then just camera that showed the final straw on that. It was a case that was already built.
It built up over years.
Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't have been that fast of a fire. So,
yeah,
coming to a charter school near you.
It was Lil Ortega before that. It was Lil Ortega. It was him. Before that, it was. I'm telling you, it's been over the years. It's been some situations, and it led up to what we got on.
So let's start us into a thing for parents to look out for. So parents, stay close to your children. Listen to them if they're able to communicate effectively. Trust but verify the situation. So that's what I would say. You don't have to overreact and all of that. Just check on in. Because usually if you're going to be, and this is with anything, if it's business, if you're going to manage or supervise, people tend to act correctly when they don't know whenever you're going to walk around to build the accountability measures. So make yourself available, but make yourself unscheduled and figure out what's going on your own time.
Right. What I'm going to say is that be vigilant. You see something that's not right, say something. Make it known that you're paying attention. Take notes. Write things down. Ask questions. Don't be the parent that assumed that the day was always good with your kids. When they come through that door, ask them, hey, how was your day? What happened? What's going on? You tell what did anything, not from a standpoint of like you're asking if anything bad happened. You just want to know the details of the day, and then file that. Write it down. Because that's the mistake that a lot of parents make, is that they don't take inventory of what's been going on. Because trust me, if you get out in front of certain things early on, just because kids don't lie, you catch them and they're young enough, they're not gonna lie to you, and they're gonna tell you if something hurt their feelings or not. You just gotta probe. And some kids don't feel comfortable, especially if you was yelling at them about being late. Get your ass up. See, you the reason why we late now. So now they not comfortable coming in. So you might have to change your overall approach with your child. You'll be amazed at what you find out about what's happening at that school. I'm gonna leave you with that.
Okay. Well, since we're on the parenting tip, we're gonna go ahead and go into actions have aftermath. Okay. Your actions on this one is becoming a parent, because nobody tells you parenting includes emotional damage and mystery crying from everybody involved. Because babies sleep whenever they want, which really feels disrespectful. Yeah, you're right about the family dinner, Joe. It used to be a place where you would do that. So, got a video real quick from Dr. Becky. If you don't know her, she is the owner and creator of Good Inside, and she is interviewing a dad. So, dads want to know what y'all think. We won't have too much, but just thinking about men's health, men's mental health, and parental health. What do y'all think about this?
A few months after he was born, I would go on my own. I would go far enough away that no one would notice, and I would sit down and I would cry just to myself. And I would cry because I didn't love my son. I didn't know what was going on. And I was lying in bed Googling things of, 3:00 in the morning, like, why am I sad? New dad. And I kind of came upon this notion of paternal postpartum depression. The symptom.
Paternal postpartum depression. Okay, that's what he's going to get into. Because so many dads expect themselves to just handle it, suffering quietly and alone. So we're going to get into it.
How it presents in men is there are a lot of similarities, but the symptoms of how it presents in men is it pushes addictive tendencies to the foreground. So alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex. For me, I feel really lucky in that I got hooked on a video game, but I would sit up and stay up till 4 a.m. It was a sense of like having some control over a situation where I really felt my son would never stop crying. And in hindsight, of course, he wasn't crying all the time. He was just like, that's what it felt like to me. And I really think about my experience with paternal postpartum depression and the vulnerability that I've kind of had to learn to share and to show, because I know it helps other dads out there. I know that the more that we talk about these things together, the better we can be for our partners, for our kids, the better we can show up for each other and for ourselves.
What do y'all think? All right. Drop some drip in the comments.
I wish I had the ability to, I wish I had the ability to feel like that.
Okay.
No, because it's just like, I don't know. I think a lot of this type of stuff is just kind of like, it's almost hereditary, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. Because when you come up in a household where there's a strong sense of duty, it's like you get desensitized to as a parent what your wants are more so, and it just becomes about the kid and provide. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from this gentleman's experience, but
no, I'm not either. That's just more personal.
Yeah, I can't reach this.
Ash's Pace said, I feel you.
Yeah.
But I can't reach.
Yeah, no,
that's what Cash's Pace said on that. He said, I hear you, homeboy. But that ain't me.
No, I'm trying to figure where he's coming from, but it's kind of hard.
Because you know, postpartum to be like a chemical, hormonal thing, right?
Yeah. So you're saying it's taken away from
trying to
women?
figure out what is like. It's trying to add fetch. You know what I'm saying? To me, it just. So what was the person? What was his remediation to it? Was it another drug to make him feel better? Was it therapy? Is he looking?
Well, she's a therapist, so I'm going to assume it's therapy and letting time pass. But she is in fact a therapist, so I'm going to assume that he did some level of therapy. Her app is about teaching parents that they're a good kid having a hard time. So trying to gather an understanding within themselves to then be able to parent their child better. So if for her marketing purposes in this, I'll just give you her angle more than likely, is that if you have the skills to identify that you're doing these things as the root cause, let's figure out what you can do to better yourself on the inside, so that way when you do interact with your child, you will be a better you. That's it in a nutshell. She gives you structures, tools, tips, how to be a better you so you can show up better for them. So if you identify that, man, I really don't like this little crybaby in there. Listen, I ain't getting no coochie since he got home. It's been 8 months. He's still in there. And I'm like, nah.
Hey, I mean, shit, ain't you supposed to wait at least like 6?
I know somebody who just celebrated their 1-year-old's birthday and they're due next month.
Okay. They call that Irish twins?
You ain't wait nothing. You was in that bad boy the next day, boy.
He was wide open. But
he was like, I'm back. So no, everybody ain't waiting.
Some people heal quicker.
Some people don't
ain't no healing right there. Ain't no healing with that.
I don't know. I can't.
So here's my take on my drip on this is that
I think that's when you like the most fertile that you could possibly be. So you almost guaranteed to get another one without working.
Yeah, it's
so
like
hard.
It's like the first year, something like that. Like you're probably most fertile. They recommend, OBGYNs recommend like 2 years after they have a baby to try again, though, to have another baby. So here's the thing about this. Do men deserve the space to say these things? Historically, the answer is no. You know what I'm saying? Historically, the answer is no.
Man, you see the group chat looking like that? Was somebody saying that in the group chat?
Look, man, I don't like this little baby crying all the time. Man, I'm about to go in here and just go to the slots.
You know what I read in the group. You know what I read in the group chat, man. Man, I got so mad, man. He pissed me off, man. I was crying, man, and cocking my pistol, man. You know, it's always some you know what I mean, some rah involved in there. But just I don't know, man. I just got so upset. I went and I cried. I got high. Like it's some other stuff going on. You was crying because you ain't had no money. You ain't had no money to feed, homie. You cried because you was pissed off because that job let your ass go, and you knew things about to be a little rough.
What you gonna do?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that's where I come from, because it was like I had a very loving mother. You know what I mean? And I grew up around folks. Everybody, mama was my mama. Everybody was cool, but we wasn't sitting around talking about somebody. I just don't feel loved. Hell no, we not loved.
How you gonna feel love from a baby and thinking that they're gonna give it back or whatever. Like they know one thing right now.
Food.
I'm hungry.
Now.
Address these needs.
Now.
I am an Instagram model. I need my needs addressed, and I need all the attention you can give.
Now.
Right now.
Right now.
Not
yesterday. You gotta take a
today.
dump. Nah, bro. I got a dump. My dump take priority. It's like I got the bubble guts. We got the bubble guts. And you gotta change this diaper, bro. Now.
You better change his ass.
Now bring me with you. Are you going to the bathroom? Bring me with you. You're not gonna leave me out here.
Bring me with you. You in there?
Oh, you gotta pee? Come on. Look. They were like, come on. I'm going too. When they little, they don't care. I'm gonna sit next to you, daddy. It's stinking here, but I'm hanging with you. Oh, mommy going to the bathroom. No, like you don't have time to sit when you trying to get to it and make sure your kids and everybody cool. You ain't got time to, and postpartum, excuse me for saying it, but that's a female's thing. Y'all can have postpartum. Y'all had the baby. We got to take care of it. We got to make sure everything cool. We didn't push. We didn't have labor pains. The hell am I depressed about? I'm depressed because I might not be able to buy the Air Max I want because I got to get bibs and extra diapers because we didn't do baby showers, stuff like that. But
it's like, all right, now somebody better shut that damn baby up.
Right? So I'm gonna show y'all two comments.
I can't play Guardians of the Galaxy tonight.
Put a titty in his mouth. I got to pay this rent.
So I'm gonna show these two.
Destiny 2 before it get the
trial.
I'm gonna show y'all these two comments. So the 3 comments. This one right here says a lot of women in this thread know nothing about the research showing men go through hormonal changes when their partners are pregnant. The medical field acknowledges postpartum depression and mood disorders. Also, people focusing on the fact he played a video game at night as a symptom, not the fact that he was trying to find a time and place to cry because he doesn't love his son. Heartbreaking to see people not be able to hold 2 truths. Very lucky I have a woman in my life who can. Shout out to Maddie. But look though, Zoe pulled up. Look, Zoe said, listen, hey, so this take is horse shit. He was depressed, sure, but he was never postpartum. In fact, it sounds like he abandoned the postpartum person. Women need resources. Women are dying. For once men can scooch over and let her be centered. Last one. Where is it at? This right here. She says, so instead of calling it, and this is what Cassius Pay was saying, calling it paternal postpartum depression, the complainers want him to say he was depressed in the postpartum period. By definition, postpartum simply means the first few weeks immediately after birth. So what she's saying is that you're saying, you said he can't say this. She's saying that the actual word of this means after birth, so he's allowed to say it. This right here, my friends, is why we have people saying far left liberal woke culture and all the like that right there. That right there. Yeah. That's like you. If you want to know why Uncle Johnny said, "Listen, I rock with all of that," but that woke left-leaning leftist, extremist leftist culture or whatever, that's usually what they talk about right there. Yes, he can have postpartum depression when he didn't actually push a baby out his actual vagina.
Yeah. I'm just saying, from my perspective, he got the right to feel a certain kind of way, but he just used too many damn words.
Yeah, it needs to be something else.
No, I was sad. The baby came. I was sad as shit that my life changed. Cool, I get it, my D.
That's it.
Yes,
that's it.
Your life changed. Video games, no more.
Now. Yeah, the video.
That's fine.
But that goes to show you who were you before the baby came along, and that's all that is. That hold a magnifying glass up to the bitch assness that you were displaying before you was lucky enough to get somebody pregnant. Your swimmers probably was like, I really don't feel like it. And one of them just was like, well, fuck it. I ain't got nothing else to do. Like a video game. Like that's what don't even sound you were trying. But at the end of the day, you are who you are when things either get extremely well for you or things are going semi-bad. The real you will emerge, period. And it sounded to me like he's just a soft, he's just a soft ass man. that don't know how to deal with his emotions. So he looked up a definition for it and said, "Oh yeah, I am postpartum." What? Is your breast leaking too? Need to pump?
Oh my goodness.
Just saying, man. Like, I get it, but it sounded to me like he don't have a strong community around him. He ain't got no men that he go play cards with or talk to. He got a headset on playing a video game talking to some 13-year-olds. I'm gonna whip your ass today.
Millennials are really like it's way less than 40%. It might be 30% of millennials now even have kids. So he might not have.
It was like 35%.
Yeah, he might not have anybody in his friend group that has kids. So maybe he don't know the stores. Maybe everybody playing Dungeons and Dragons and shoots ladders and shit.
They playing D&D.
Looking at him like, ew, you have baby on you now and all this kind of stuff. So, keep that over there.
You smell like formula, dude. Ew. Girls, yuck. Right. Like, the hell out of here. His father ain't in his life or something.
Well, speaking of people not having fathers in their life, these these young people, not kids, y'all grown.
Guardians of Azkaban.
These folks at what is that? University of Arizona? They said, "Ooh,
hold up, I gotta get this one." He said he got a C-section scar. I missed this one. Yeah, that's a good one. Homeboy had a C-section scar. Postpartum. All right.
C stands for cooch.
Ridiculous. So going on to rewind and rethink. We talk about AI. So formal Google, I try to give you. Anyways, formal Google CEO Eric Schmidt, he went to deliver a commencement speech, and I'm gonna just quickly talk about it. He's like, and AI is gonna be big, and it's gonna take all your jobs. And they're like, yeah. Ooh, get the fuck off the stage.
Who this man?
Graduated. You about to have us laid off before we even get the job.
They already
rewind and rethink. Rewind and rethink.
Yeah, take your job.
He's like, who's with me for unemployment? Anybody? No, not you. Oh, it's me. It's me. I'm retiring by the time y'all come up here.
Oh.
Can I hear some more? As like that. He on that type of time. Here's the thing. Rewind and rethink on this. I would like to know from the schools. Y'all stay complaining about enrollment, about money. Why in the world would you invite these people? And it's not the only one. Somebody else. It was a lady they booed too, talking about AI and stuff too. Why do you keep inviting these people to talk about it? Stop going to schools to talk about it. The young people don't want to hear it. They need y'all to tell them what you're going to do to help them be able to have a family or buy a house or go on these trips. They trying to go on a boat. They trying to do the things they want to do. And you over here talking about a robot about to do the job before they ever even get to apply to the job. Let's think about that for a second. Schools, this is on you. You took their money and then you rubbed it in their faces. So hold on, please. Let me go ahead. Hold on. By the way, that's that money.
Just know you're gonna need universal basic income because your ass gonna be broke. So you're gonna get the money that I give you. Actually, you're gonna be using bread coupons. Everybody got monopoly money going forward.
And we win it, right? Let's party about it. Let's celebrate about it. That's your day. Because 6 months from now, you're going to get them loans. And Trump just put it in the place of his student loans.
I know your brother graduated last year looking for a job. And so, your ass about to be out here too. I hope you get your master's.
So sign up for that 30 year. Because that's what you got. 30 years. 30 years. You happy? Are you happy? 30 years? You got a mortgage for 30 years? And you're going to pay back this money for 30 years. With a job that we don't have for you.
There you go. So this one's deep because
stop doing this. Please invite people to these commencements who have jobs, connections, or actual things to motivate them to what they can look forward to. That's my trip. Stupid schools.
They said you should have been a plumber. Good night.
Trade schools are open. Rock on, like
right. Got you.
Listen to the speech.
All I was getting ready to say is that this one's real deep because, like, the students, they weren't necessarily booing the technology. They were actually just booing the smug delivery of your future is getting automated. Good luck, bitches. So, there have been multiple commencement moments this season where speakers got booed when they talking about AI taking jobs, which shows how raw the anxiety actually is for new grads because they done seen the people graduate a year ahead of them already running into this situation. So young people already came out with debt, shaky hiring, and expensive housing. Now they're being told that the ladder itself might be software. All right. So it's being pulled up on them anyway. So they didn't boo the robot per se, but they booed the disrespect that's coming from it. And that lies the problem.
There you go.
They said, good luck. There's your competition. Y'all both applying to that job at the same time.
For a lot of the people that are pushing some of these, we'll call it technologies. But really it's because I can't get someone else to do what I want them to do when I want them to do it. Someone to tell a computer to do it when I want it to do it, even though it's highly ineffective and inefficient at times. Because I haven't trained it and I don't know how to exactly train, so I'll just keep on telling someone else to tell it to do it. And if they don't do it right enough, then I'll go and tell someone cheaper to do it, and therefore it'll get done, said the shareholders.
And meanwhile, this is you trying to pay your student loan payment. This is you 25 years later trying to pay your student loan payment.
God damn.
Like, damn, the plasma center still didn't send that money to my card. The plasma center.
So our last part, y'all know we gonna send y'all out of here with some drip from the Wall Street Trapper. He's talking about President Trump and his stocks. So let's talk about it a little bit. Here's some stocks he got for y'all to take a look at. It's not financial advice from us, but Wall Street Trap got you. If you don't subscribe to him, follow him, so forth, please do so. Let's go.
Donald Trump just showed you exactly what the next explosive move in the market going to be. And you need to pay attention. So I'm going to tell you about 4 stocks, but first, let's look at his track record. Now, he invested in Intel. The stock is up 221% year to date. He invested in MP Materials. The stock is up 24% year to date. He made 36 trades in Q1. He's known as a real estate investor. So while everybody else fussing about insider trading, we don't have that luxury. We got to follow the money. Now, quantum stocks soared because the government is dropping $2 billion in grants. D-Wave, QBTS, IBM, Rigetti, RGTI, Inflection, INFQ. Now, they all ran double digits this week. Now, think about this for a second. Quantum computing will be essential in 3 areas, and I know quantum stocks going to take control. Cybersecurity, because of encryption. This is probably the biggest one. Now, because quantum, well, it breaks some current encryption methods, right? So they create stronger encryption for back-end offices, for banking and communications. Now, this becomes strategically critical. Number 2 is going to be for drug discovery and biotech. Now, quantum may simulate some molecules that they're doing, but for the most part, it can help stuff like cancer, protein inflection, chemical design, battery chemistry, a lot of stuff that's going to help uncover stuff that they say been so-called locked. So pay attention to that. And lastly, semiconductors. Now, this is the one that's going to be a game changer as well, because better chips, better semiconductors, stronger materials, lower batteries, industrial chemicals, all of this is set to play. Now, before we get into that, I need you to be calm, though, because we just got a new Fed that came in. Typically, the stocks, once he gets sworn in, typically we have a sell-off. That's why I sold almost $1 million in profits today. I asked my community. We took a lot of profits. It's because we understood this method. Now, there's a dip coming. Not going to be big, but somewhere around 2%. After that's going to be a good time to get in. So be mindful after the holidays. But just know, Donald Trump told us where to put the money at next. Stop being mad, get out your feelings, and put your money, like he said, it's your boy the Wall Street Trapper. Shut us with somebody who's scared to get in the market. Salute.
So gave y'all some drip that So we've been talking about this. He's building on it. So quantum compute and data centers, it ain't going nowhere. So might not be a bad idea. On top of the fact that biotech ain't going nowhere either. Might not be a bad idea. Pharmaceuticals, they ain't going nowhere. Might not be a bad idea. This is not financial advice. Just saying, what he alluded to was that if you listen to President Trump while he's in office, this is his last term. He telling you in many instances what to look out for. That's all I got for Drip Wise. So shout out to the Wall Street Trapper. Thank you for dropping some knowledge, some game for us to go ahead and take a look at, because a lot of those companies do, they're gonna be at the forefront of more of the technology evolution. So that's all I got.
It's a good one.
Comments. I got in Google before the last split. Up 120%. Ooh, and NVIDIA. Ooh, he got some money.
Damn, he getting to
some money.
He got butter on his popcorn.
Ooh. Hey,
yeah, I don't talk about a lot of my trades, but what I will say is that a lot of vanity solutions are going out. So we'll say peptides that people have been getting because they want to feel a certain kind of way about themselves. So that'll also go into the technology within quantum computing standards, because although it's not regulated like it probably should be, we have certain things like what's the name of those games? The enhanced games coming, which is going to then provide it's going to provide the runway in order for other people to then know, oh, it's available to be able to do this. I can run and jump and grow a third leg after I, run 60% faster. But all I'm saying is that it's going to bring peptides to the forefront as people look for enhancing themselves in various ways. Right now, it's kind of like an undercurrent with things, but if you're in the workout community and you'll see people talk about gains and all this kind of stuff, a lot of people are on various peptides in order to look younger, feel a certain kind of way, get eyes less puffy, inflammation, etc., etc. And, hopefully you're getting your stuff from reputable places, but as the demand for these things increases, again, the technology will have to support these things. So quantum computing, again, will be one of those things that helps those certain peptides and other solutions be a little more safer, I would hope. Not financial advice at all, or biological advice. For me, I'll just tell you to stay away from it. But some people need HRTs and all that sometimes, right? Hormone replacement therapies because they want to, lose muscle or not lose muscle. They want to lose fat and build muscle at the same time. It's called recomposition. You're able to do that, but it's hard work and it takes a long time. So, Shout out to Plain Dane, who's been on his journey too and been whooping ass.
Yeah, I don't take nothing. All natural.
And that's okay. You're taking a slow road, and that's all right. You say pissed off? That's what
it's pissed off. I mean, because the thing is, it's like I'm not going for a desired look to impress anybody. I'm trying to impress Jesus. Just want to be able to get up every day and do some of the stuff I used to do. So that's what I train for, just to be able to have a normal life, because I'm seeing what a lot of us look like at this age, and it scared the hell out of me. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys are not even old. Folks not even old. They just giving up, and I just refuse to give up.
There you go. And Joe had a comment saying recomp is hard. Yes, recomp is hard. If you're going to do it without the enhancements, it's definitely going to be hard because it's a slow grind. Sometimes you're tweaking calories and macros, and I know we don't really talk about all this kind of stuff in this particular show, but these are things that you would do in order to try to have longevity in your life. The best build, I would say, from my perspective, would be like a sprinter's build, right? So it's muscular, lean, yet you still got arms, you still got legs, right? So not quite gymnast, because that's a little bit too buffy to me, but definitely a lean enough to be able to be powerful when you need to be. Recomp is hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal for people is to be able to see the future generations and to be agile, mobile enough. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I'm not counting nobody rice, bro. I'm not doing it.
But sure, you when you in it for real, because it gets harder and harder, especially if you get closer and closer to a goal weight where you try to achieve you muscle after you done got to the goal weight, and you got to quote unquote bulk and all of this stuff, because you really can't gain a lot of muscle while you're in a deficit. It's easier to be bigger and maintain the muscle that you got. That means that you get to keep a lot of muscle that you build by just being big, and that's always a good thing, because usually, like for women, you usually might have some mass. That's one thing that's going on. If you bigger, then you slim it down and you don't lose a lot of that. You maintain by eating enough protein and all that. That's pretty much what you do. You just keep on working on sculpting, and then that way you fill in that skin with actual muscle instead of having that shit look like cottage cheese all over the place. All right.
Well, that's all we got for y'all today.
Speaking of cottage cheese.
Speaking of cottage cheese, we about to drip on out of here tonight. We appreciate y'all dripping with us tonight. Drop some drip in the comments if there's anything specific that you would like us to expand on. Make sure you check out the community tab. We got some polls in there that we would like your polls, like survey poll, not like get on the poll. But we have some survey polls for y'all to go ahead and fill out. Let us know what y'all think, what y'all like. Very much appreciate y'all rocking with us. We're here every Friday night with that late night drip. We're going to try to drip a little bit earlier if we can. We target 11:30 p.m. EST. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Tell people you like and someone you don't. You won't regret that. We appreciate y'all being here. I am your co-host, Jim Jones. And along with me is
Dang.
That must be for the next person, because in the back we got Cassius paid. He cooking. And
the AI.
Shout out to our commenters. So shout out to Joe, who else is in the chat today. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Fatima. So shout out to y'all in the comments today. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all.
All right.
And we will see y'all next Friday with that late night drip. We appreciate y'all. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, we gotta find us the outro.
Yeah, I want to switch it up a little bit.
Scroll glow on the cheek. Burn the tab up on the side. Talk stock, stayed in secrecy. While she slide her hand on my thigh. Headlines in her history. Whisper like a quiet threat. She say, money built these ministries. They ain't cash your freedom yet. We sip slow, playing quick. Every kiss got a side script. Every laugh got a side eye. She say you down, I say I might be, yeah. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Lean in close, keep it hush. Paper in the back, truth in the front seat. Body on beat, mind on trust. If this hit your lane, slide with us. Talk that code and a lover's touch. Say you want change and you want it to feel good. Hit the hey. Slide with us. Shorty got a spreadsheet, color-coded alibis. She can flip a budget, flip a vote, barely even blink her eyes. Bass humming through the chassis, while she break down policy. She said, power just a password.